Welcome to Wukong's world. If you're new, welcome to Wukong's world. I'm Shaq Wukong, and I'm a Reiki healer. And as a healer, I get asked all the time. As soon as I mention that I'm a Reiki healer, people ask, what is Reiki? And I'm sick of explaining it. So, now, when we hit Google for a definition of Reiki, we get all sorts of answers. Page 1 of results gives us things like Reiki is hands-on natural healing that uses the universal life force energy. The term comes from the Japanese words rei, meaning universal, and ki, meaning vital life force energy that flows through all living things. Reiki is an abundant, gentle, spiritual energy that is not tied to any specific religion or nationality. That's nice, right? But what does that mean? What does universal energy mean? And where's the science? Basically, where's the science is what people want to know, right? Because otherwise it just looks pseudo, right? So, basically, to explain.
So while modern scientists strive to make sense of the universe with varying degrees of success, there's a powerful philosophy outlined in an ancient Egyptian text called the Kybalion that lays the laws of the universe out clearly through 7 hermetic principles, with the first being the principle of mentalism. This law states that everything in the perceivable universe is a mental phenomenon, and that the nature of the mental realm is spirit, which is not to be confused with soul, which is solo individual spirit or space of potentiality, okay? Now, when it comes to the nature of spirit and what it is, spirit is all possibilities. It's both positive and negatively charged, yin and yang. It permeates all matter and form, and is the very substance that embodies and connects everything. With this being said, spirit's just too omnipresent and limitless to be contained inside a controlled environment and studied in a lab, which is why physicists struggle to understand it. There's a yin and yang to everything, and when we consider spirit in terms of alchemy, it's like an odorless, colorless, undetectable, smokeless flame, meaning a high-frequency form of ether/gas or space that gives off heat, aka passion, will, drive, determination, motivation, plus light, which would just be another word for information or intelligence. With this in mind, spirit is fueled by air and water, esoterically speaking, aka thoughts and feelings, which we can look at as being something like the yang and yin aspects of the same coin, in that water, or feelings, is like a higher density version of air or thoughts playing out in a different atmosphere, being the gut brain versus the brain in your head. What, you didn't know you have at least 2 brains? Sure, we can think logically most of the time, but the majority of our decisions often lack logic and are based off of feelings. Let's consider the heart. The heart energy can be likened to heat, which we can look at as fire, aka passion, motivation, and or the very will to experience. It's the catalyst that sets things in motion. I mean, what is heart spelled without the R anyway? Heat, right? And without heat or fire-like energy, ain't shit moving. That means no cell activity for the body and no plate tectonics or atmosphere for the planet. I mean, think about it. The body without the heat and activity of the heart, or the earth without a hot, active core, would result in the loss of a magnetic field and the death of a body either way, be it celestial or biological. And when it comes to how it mixes and mingles with spirit, be it your state of being or the very makeup of reality itself, the heart energy kinda steals the show here. I mean, it is the flame that determines the temperature, aka temperament, at which your food for thought is prepared, right? Which spirit then feeds off of, after all. Now don't get me wrong, the brain is pretty cool. I mean, it gets a lot of credit for doing things, but the human heart is documented to generate the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. The heart is about 60 to 100 times stronger electrically and up to 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain is. Now, this is kind of a big deal because the physical world as we know it happens to be made of two fields of energy, electrical and magnetic fields. And physics books are telling us now that if we can change either the electrical or magnetic field of an atom, we change that atom. We change the stuff that our bodies and this world are made out of. And it appears now that the human heart is designed to do both, and they do so in response to the emotions we create between our hearts and our brains. It's not what you see, but how you see it. So make sure you actually like your food for thought, because these thoughts and feelings feed your spirit, which your spirit then chews up and poops out as reality to you via people, places, things, and situations that are energetically congruent with what you're thinking and feeling. Don't believe me? Go ask Greg Braden. He's a science dude, for all you pencil neck geeks out there. So, anyway, it's not only in the Kabbalion via the first Hermetic principle that we find this truth, but when we check the science out, physicists also come to the conclusion that the physical world is quantum mechanical, aka dealing with reality on the atomic and subatomic levels, meaning that the physical world is made up of waves of energy and vibrating particles at its most fundamental levels. Waves and particles which are constantly in motion, largely unpredictable in nature, heavily influenced by mental/emotional phenomena, and manifest the illusion of physical reality and its many facets and layers in the way of solids, liquids, and gases based on the frequency these particles are vibrating in and out of existence at. That is the physical world from a scientific, quantum mechanical lens. I mean, it's all spirit once we start to talk about esoteric shit like quarks and leptons and stuff, so let's chill, bruh, before we get too lost in the science sauce, alright? As we say in Chinese Qigong practices, where Qi or energy flows, blood goes. And through this, we can get a better understanding of exactly how Reiki and universal energy play into all this junk. Cool? Alright.